And that's the freedom you have, that you can move beyond where you are. We want family. We want people who cheer us on.
I hope you continue to look beyond the valleys to the higher mountains that you can climb in this business. And I hope you'll continue to help others climb with you. Being rewarded in proportion to how much you do is a universal language for people around the world.
These are the fundamentals of who Rich and Jay are. It's also the foundation of the second generation. It's the foundation of Doug and I.
When we think of the founders' fundamentals today, and what are Steve and I doing with them, how are they part of this business? Well, we build them into everything we do. They're foundations that are timeless, and we stay committed to bringing them into the future and to establishing them. Now, that doesn't mean you do things the same way you did them in the past. There's a balance there, but those principles are indeed timeless.
Family is part of every culture in every country around the world. It's very difficult for someone that has never been in business to themselves to think of a multi-billion-dollar company, and how am I going to be part of that? On the other hand, it's very easy for an individual, even if they've never been in business for themselves, to think about being part of a family. That's who we are.
But what's important is that they're written in people's hearts. And so that when they talk to somebody, it's natural. They don't have to read from a script and say, oh, let me tell you about the founders' fundamental. No, let me tell you about what I've learned, what I've seen, what I've experienced myself, and let me just simply share it with you.
I've found as I've traveled around the world that regardless of what country we're in, what culture we're in, or what political setting we're in, everybody is interested in allowing individuals to succeed for themselves.
I think when we talk about hope, we define it as saying, I don't care where you are. I don't care where you've been. Let's talk about tomorrow. Let's talk about the future. And I remember my father talking about the Great Depression in the U.S. in the 1930s, of the difficult circumstances they were in, and how his father always said, it's going to be better. We're going to work through this. That whatever your situation is, it's a temporary point in time. And the idea of hope is that we're going to work through it and get to something better.
Dad traveled around and he made a lot of speeches. And one of the lines in the speech I'll never forget, he said, personal freedom and economic freedom go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
We know the founders' fundamentals have never really just belonged to the founders. They've always belonged to all of us, to all of you. I know those fundamentals will be honored, and they will continue to provide the principles that Doug and Steve use to guide us to bigger and better success in the future.
They were very relevant with Dad and Rich when they started the business, but they're extremely relevant today with everyone that's in the business.
We've been doing it for over 45 years now, and it seems to work. And we think that those founders' fundamentals articulate that. And so when we live them every day, we think we're sound for the next 45 years and beyond, staying true to those principles.